Now this time Barrera gets the right. See if Barrera will think. Yeah, Sullivan is showing the thing I've seen about Max. And kind of punching I'm seeing from Bivol.
Seems to be, I agree,
more or less hiding in might have been on the belt line.
6-0. 60.
I did not. That heads like that.
He's averaging 9 landable
boxer punches. Steam was off the.
It's less.
Guys,
obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Good luck. Touch him up.
Test Bivol and find out what Bivol is really all about. The rep can do with timing.
And punches. When he hits you, your whole body.
Max, as we get ready for to the farm, of course. The famed La Finca, and that may play in his favor. Amateurs go to learn their craft and
get down to work after he gets out of that first round. Bivol has the quicker hands.
So I can understand why he wants to avoid.
Better than any opponent Bivol has seen to this point in his.
Doesn't mean there aren't things, and I'd say also he's the bigger puncher.
Kovalev is considerably more prominent on a global level. That faced Beterbiev and beat him. A guy who has been more or less hiding in Montreal. Sort of light heavyweight Gennady Golovkin. Him 3 of the 4. That had to be about stop.
We wanted questions answered about Bivol already.
Verse, then Triple G.
And now a sense of both hands.
I think he's a little bit more double
from Beterbiev or the other big punchers in this. An athlete with real punching power.
And kind of punching I'm seeing from Bivol.
Bivol in my.
That was some really good stuff for an up-and-coming prospect. Well,
he can counter, he can work behind his long jab. It's less.
Guys, did you cut?
No, I did not. That urgency may emerge for Bivol as
are wondering how his skin holds up. Seems to be, I agree, anyone can be cut from a clash.
Title belt he wanted to try to fight for it. And if the fight is stopped because
with
schedule 12, Barrera has
heads like that.
Punches. That's the most important.
What caused that? I didn't see
him all night.
No question.
That's the thing I've seen about.
That's what together coherently.
His mobility with puncher, but landed with much.
Who is throwing and landing combinations.
You made the point often, Jim. What separates
spectacular amateur career for Bivol. Win on 4 of the schedule 12. Bivol is averaging 9 landed jabs. Our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman. Harold, how do you...
Responsible boxer puncher.
No, he lands both shots. He lands the left jab. He lands the straight right hand.
He lands a left hook that wobbles Barrera. He lands another left hook that wobbles Barrera. Over and over against Barrera.
Better technician and lands with more pop. So in exchanges, he's extremely dangerous as Barrera tries to. All the steam was off the Barrera right hand. Landed with much.
Upstairs.
He's running that wrist getaway. See that? He's running that wrist getaway.
Fighting against a better fighter than he's been in with.
Jim, if you throw at his head, he's still like that right there. It doesn't hit shoulders, everything is.
Yeah, no one's scared in there.
No.
Okay, Jim, I got it.
Who is throwing and landing combinations.
Buck and go to the body to invest in later on.
It's a compelling point. Let's see if Barrera will think of it.
It was a quick and it's over with. Like that. It's a
handed fighter, the straighter puncher.
Boom, 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 and it's over with. No wasted time. Wasted time.
Who's for the light heavyweight division.
Very discouraging for Barrera because he can't land a punch hard.
The better technician.
Within the past couple of weeks, might have been on the belt line. Barrera landing 6 punches per round.
Realize it and get back in the fight.
Yeah. Sullivan is showing in his last 5 fights, he was average to his fighter. Between rounds was his desire.
The other guy has to do something that.
Now this time Barrera gets the right hand.
Good here and there, but their punches for the most part are about even now.
But Bivol
like that.
Bivol's still quicker.
Yeah, he's quicker.
Or maybe Bivol is sensing that there's a little given Barrera.
Jinx ducks are still targets. When you fight a guy like Bivol who can move, who's
bleeding over the right eye of Dmitry Bivol. Get a look just to size him up. Within the past couple, somehow tilt the fight in his favor. Out of the 6th round into the 7th, Bivol landing 115.
6-0, 60-54.
Out of 380 to Barrera.
Is maybe one of the most underrated skills in boxing. And he did it in the last round with a right hook upstairs.
Then try to come up and land something big over the top. Oh, good shot.
Right hand.
Because he still can win it if he wants. We've never seen Bivol at this point in a fight.
Well, if we thought Bivol might have been slowing down a little bit in the last round 8 of a scheduled 12, Dmitry Bivol against Sullivan Barrera. Russia again.
That was a good try for a good right hand to the
hard
body.
right hand to the body by the other fights seems to have been completely taken away.
Well, speed neutralizes things.
Max Kellerman correct in saying that
where Bivol sometimes waits a little bit too long in the over the right eye, swelling on the left side of the forehead, deep.
Good body shot.
Additionally knocking Barrera back. There's another right hand.
In a fight against an experienced guy who hasn't given.
Bivol at this point early acted and be able to land a big shot himself and call it up. Jim, it can't feel too bad either though. Both them together, he is a
75-pound fighters who can put punches together like this with the velocity and the style and the effect.
At least Bivol hasn't had a fight.
Like that right hand.
Oh, Dmitry Bivol, if you watch the punches.
So this marks the 3rd time in his career. The way he's being
now looking at how bad does Barrera want it.
Faster, seemingly better fighter. As he appears to try to get just a little breather in round 9 coming toward the finish. Still going forward, trying to get into position.
Swelling on the left side of the
You better.
All right. Fight last night. Good job.
Bivol had to react.
Oh.
And now he...
The next day, Roy, he wakes up and knows he was in a real fight.
No, they've all been walkovers by and large. Vander Holyfield.
He doesn't look like a hammerhead.
And now he comes back with a hard right hand of his own. Throws it again.
Yeah, by Bivol.
By the way, even if you're thinking, well, yeah, but Barrera's done his damage with his head. But there's, and by the way, he's winning against an experienced guy who hasn't.
593 to Barrera 57 out of 469. Harold let but there, and Harvey Dock, seemingly with both hands, are going to be a problem. Suggested that the fighter who got the Waterman. How do you have this scored 3-1? At Bivol's physical qualities, the speed, the quickness, the punching power. First of that headbutt was Sullivan Barrera. But it can't feel good for Bivol.
I think, Roy, you're right about staying as sharp. He's boxed
many 175-pound fighters who can put punches together like this with the velocity and the style.
Went from boxer-puncher who might knock.
Why change it?
268 wins and 15 losses as an amateur. That might be the idea that maybe Bivol should throw more to the body.
You win the fight very big with headshots.
Presents modestly, Max, but at the end of the day, you walk out of the body shot by Bivol.
Yes.
Perfectly timed. Right.
It's not that important. It's not that serious. He'll be all right.
Listen. You gotta be first.
They touch gloves before round 12. Legitimate sportsman.
Barrera, Beterbiev in America. You want to see more American champions? We have to get our amateur.
Oh, down goes Barrera, and you can see Bivol thinking to himself, I still have a shot at a knockout. You can just see it in his face. Is Harvey Dock going to let him continue?
Lands the knockout punch, closes the show.
Well, I think around he's still looking for the knockout.
Yes, he was.
He got it.
He was still looking for the knockout with that right hand.
For the winner and still undefeated, still the WBA light heavyweight champion of the world.